Alright, so this is part 2 of the sub-trunk locking mechanism that I have been thinking about for quite some time, and I decided to go ahead and build it based on available things you can buy and just a little bit of handiwork. So here we see the bar that we showed in part 1. Again, I just lift it. It's about 10 pounds max. Again, it's pretty tough. This is designed as a security device. And again, we see here that the bar has the rubber feet, so here's the part on the left and it fits right in there. And again, once you put it in, you can I'm just grabbing the bar with my hand and I'm just moving it into this cavity, right? It's just kind of wiggle it in there. Doesn't have to be some crazy toughness. Again, this cavity on the left is interesting in the Model 3 because, as you can see, you're blocked from moving this bar therefore forward and pretty much backward, and you have very little movement that's possible in any direction. So that allows you to secure the left part. So now comes the part of securing the right part. So again, the bar that we talked about goes into the trunk like this, and it's extendable. So it comes with about 6 inches of clearance when it's fully inserted. So you would just unlock it and extend it open just like that. And at this stage we just kind of maneuver it probably to that position right there. And on the right side we see that this fabric, there's kind of a semi-hard structure behind this. It's hard enough that someone's really want to get into your sub trunk, but there's got this lip here, so therefore that already blocks the structure from moving that way. Because if you were to somehow push this inward, you might free up this space in a way that someone could pull the tab here and get into your Model 3 sub-trunk. But you see that this lip here now blocks. So it's doing you a favor. This lip here is doing you a favor of kind of helping you out. So you might have the question, well, you've got this white space here and you've got this maneuverable space kind of around here. So I was thinking that I was going to VHB some Velcro onto this side of the rubber in order to make sure that a person could not, and again, this is not locked down now, but I'm just going to show you that a person could not do this and start wiggling it around or wiggling it up like that, right? So I thought I might need some Velcro. Well, as it turns out, when this is actually installed right now, it's pretty tough. It's not going to move. So I'm going to show you how I do that. Again, we pull the lever to lock it. And now the next step is we're going to complete the next series of ratchets manually to expand this. And again, we just take the bar here, and there's one, and it's already really tight there, by the way. Here's that little lock I showed you in part 1. But it's good to always do one more. So again, we're very cautious of the fact that we're not damaging the car. We're not putting some strange amount of force on the side, on either side here. I know there's electronics here for the charging system, so we're not touching any of that. We're not around that area, just so that everybody knows. And I'm going to just give it one more ratchet. And at this stage, you could go for a third one. This is again a very tough square tube, and here's that wood that I installed. And the wood's there to kind of, you see when you install this bar, there is a lip here, right? It's a square structure, and so there's a lip here. And of course, there's a lip here. You can put your hand under it. So that's the reason I installed the wood, because I want to make sure that this bar, when it is installed, it is directly contacting the surface of the sub-trunk so that there's no wiggle room for you to be able to lift this, okay? So right now, I've tightened this down, and I am really tugging hard. You're not going to move this. You've gotten through the window, you moved the door, somehow you hacked through the trunk door, and now you want to get into that sub-trunk, and you're presented with this solution. And I'm telling you, you'd have to have a very strong bolt cutter, very tough circular saw, a plasma cutter or something to get through this system. So the very last step, which again, you can decide to get a thicker lock if you want. You know, if you think this is like the weak link or something, but you could potentially, you know, there's still a lot of wiggle room and the amount of space that's left in this structure. So you could get a lock that has a loop which is almost twice as thick as the standard TSA lock. You see there's quite a bit of wiggle room. So this is just maybe one I'm going to use for now, but I might decide that I'm going to pick up something a little tougher. So again, that lock goes in there, and I have to Dremel a little piece off right there, and then it just clips locked, and therefore this piece here is stuck down because this is what locks this structure, right? You want it to go through this, and again, I need to open that up a little bit. And if you do need to access your sub trunk, all you got to do is, you know, you would take the lock off, unlock it, and you know, just do. Unfortunately, it is an extremely tough ratchet, so it wants to. You have to hold it here. I only have one hand free, but you hold it and then you ratchet it, and it will start to close. And then once it closes, you can lift it. You know, get it out of the way, and lift up your sub trunk. So anyway, that's my project, and I wanted to share that with you guys. So hopefully you enjoyed watching this, and I'm going to post the links of the items so that you know where to buy them. Thanks a lot. Have a great day.